Hey everyone, Mac here, and we are going to multiply radical expressions. Okay, so this one is really important that you looked at version A. It's kind of an easy one. Version B, that one's harder. And version C, this one, we're going to kind of mix it all up a little bit, okay, on how to do these. So let's go ahead and start with number one. Now, the one thing I taught you on how to do this, oh, by the way, this is version C, right? If you're looking for version A or B or the one where I'm working things out online in front of a whiteboard, maxtutorials.com. Okay, go there and you can find out a lot about math, okay? And so if I'm teaching you something where you're like, wait, I didn't know that, I bet you'll find it there. So go back and look, all right? And I love your comments. So on this one, what if I had this? I'm just going to write out something, 3 parentheses x plus 2, right? You would do this, and you would that, and you would get 3x plus 6, right? I'm just showing you distributive property. This looks nastier, but it's the same thing. I'm going to multiply by this, and I'm going to multiply by that. That's all I'm going to do. So I'm going to look at this first one right here with the 2 root 3 times 4 root 2. And all you do is you multiply the outies, and you multiply the innies. Now I'm done. Okay, now I'm going to multiply the second one. Now I don't have an innie, I only have an outie. Well, that's okay. First of all, I'm going to have to write that plus sign because it's positive. 2 times 5, those are my outies. Okay, and then I just write my innie. Okay, because this would be like, you could even write square root of 1, right? Same thing. So you just copy that. And I look at my addition. I see that these are numbers that I cannot combine, and so I am now done. Okay, number 2, same thing. Boink, boink. I'm going to get 3 root 25 plus, and then 3 times 2 is 6, and I'm going to write the root 5. Now let me break down this 25 a little bit. That's just the normal everyday 5, right? So I'm going to pull out a 5, and I'm left with 15. No more square root because I pulled it all out, plus 6 root 5, and I cannot combine a number with a radical. So I'm just done. Going on. Boom. Multiply the outies. I don't have an innie, so it just becomes that. Plus, boom, multiply the outies. There is no outies, so just a 2 comes. And the square root of 49. Well, I know the square root of 49 is 7, so I'm going to pop a 7 out. And I'm going to get 8 root 7 plus 14. Okay? Here we go, 4. Let's go ahead and multiply. Now, this one may be a little easier if I went ahead and rationalized that first. I'm not, but I could just make that say 2 root 2 by pulling that out. But I'm going to let this go. Okay, so this one right here is going to be 3 root 16 because I knew I was going to get a perfect square. But if you didn't, sometimes it's best to go in lowest terms. Okay, minus 4 root 8. Okay, so here square root of 16 is 4, so when I pull out the 4, this is just going to be 12 minus 4 root 8. Well, off on the side, let me do root 8, and I know that's 2 times 2 times 2, or 2 root 2. I know I did that quickly. So now, if square root of 8 is 2 root 2, well, that 2, this first 2, has to go with the 4 to make it an 8 root 2. Okay? And that's my final answer. Boom. Number 5, let's distribute across. Boom and boom. That's going to be 2 root 24 plus root of, 6 times 24 is 6 times 4 is 24. Carry the 2. 6 times 2 is 12. 1, 4. Ooh, I like that number. So this is just going to be a 12, right? So that's pretty simple. So now what I want to do is I want to break down the 24. I like to do this on the side. Otherwise, it gets kind of ugly. That's going to be an 8 times 3. That's going to be a 4 times 2. That's going to become a 2 times 2. Pull out the 2's. 2 root what's left over. 2 times 3 is 6. So now I'm going to look at this 2 root 6, and I've got to put that in with this 2 right there. So the 2 and the 2 times each other out, and they get 4, and what's the root left over? 6. Done. Okay, let's go on to number 6. Boink and boink. Okay, multiply the outies and the innies minus outies, innies. Okay, so now this is normal. There's nothing I can do there. Minus, now I can pull out a normal everyday 3, and I times it by the 2, and I get 6. Easy peasy. Number 7, we're going to go ahead and go boink and boink. And here I'm going to get square root of 16 plus 4 root 2. 16 is 4. 4 plus 4 root 2. And that, my friends, is my final answer. Okay? Let's go ahead and go all the way over here to number 8. Okay? So now, ooh, these are kind of nasty. This one, I think I do want to break this one down. So I'm going to go square root of 44, and I'm going to break this down to 11 times 4, and I'm going to break this down into 2 times 2. And so this is really just going to be a 2 square root of 11. And I think that's just going to be easier to deal with. Multiply it by the first, and I'm going to get 4 square root of, I'm just going to write 11 times 11. It's 121, but I'll just do that. Minus 2 times 3 is 6, root 11. Once I pull the 11s out, right, this is just going to become a 44 minus 6, root 11. Okay, if I'm going too fast, hit the pause button, watch what I'm doing, okay? Now this one, there is no plus or minus. I love that. I'm just going to multiply the outies, which gives me an 8a. And I'm going to multiply the innies, which gives me a square root of 36. But I know square root of 36 is just 6, so I'm going to pop out a 6, and I'm just going to get 48a. Boink. Number 10, okay? Multiply the outies, which is 6m. Multiply the innies, which is 6 times 24. Why multiply it out? You're just going to break it down anyway, okay? So now I have to break this down. 3 times 2, and I do one that's called Simplifying Radicals, and that is in the same chapter, Chapter 8 on maxtutorials.com, if this part is a little confusing to you. It's a lot, I know. Now I'm pulling out pairs, and I'm going to take each pair, and I'm going to multiply it by 6m. Okay, well, here's a pair right there of 2s. Cool. Here's a pair of 3s. Cool. And look, here's a pair of 2s. Cool. It all pops out because I would have ended up getting a 144 when I multiplied it, so that's really a 12. So that's okay. So 2 times 3 is 6, 6 times 2 is 12, 12 times 6 is 72. My answer is 72m. Okay? Let's keep going. Multiply the outies, and I get 15p. Multiply the innies, and I get square root of 36. If I pull a 6 out of this, I'm going to get a 90p and nothing left in the root because I pulled it out. Okay, number 12, multiply the outies. I get 8q. Multiply the innies. I'm going to just write this as 10 times 5. I know 5 is lowest form, or prime, as I should say. Now, do I have any pairs? Right here. Boom, boom, pair of 5. So I pull out a 5. And that's going to give me 5 times 8 is 40. Q. Is anything left in? Sure. That 2 is left in. Doink. All right, now a couple nasty ones. So when they look like this is like a FOIL problem. So we're going to go first, outer, inner, and last. What's square root of 5 times square root of 5? It's square root of 25, which is normal everyday 5. When you times a root by a root, it just becomes the number outside the root. Okay, so I want you to start recognizing that right away now. 6 plus 5 is 11, plus 2 root 5 and 3 root 5 are like terms. That's like saying 2x plus 3x. What's 2x plus 3x? That would be 5x, but instead of x, it's 5 root 5. That's how you have to think about it. Okay, if that said 2 root 5 plus 3 root 3, that would be like it's saying 2x plus 3x, or sorry, 2x plus 3y, which you can't combine, okay? All right, last one, boink, that becomes a 6. Boink, that becomes plus 3 root, what's an ugly root? Root 7. Boink, minus 2 root 7. Boink, plus 7. Okay, that's square root of 49, which is a normal 7. Combine these like terms, and I get 13. Combine these like terms, and I get plus, and it's a 1, but I'll just write it, 1 root 7. But you don't need to write the 1. You're not wrong, but this is what you would find like in a multiple choice, okay, because it's assumed to be a 1. And that, my friends, is the end of us multiplying radicals. You saw us just do 2 radicals. You saw us do distributive. You saw us do foiling. And so there's a lot of cool things for you to learn there. All right, guys, that's it on the radicals. Take care. See you next time.